What's up, guys? First, let me just go ahead and say how excited I am to be starting this YouTube channel. I actually couldn't have done it or even had the inspiration to make this YouTube channel if it wasn't for another YouTube channel named SWN Laser 3. So shout out and thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it. I made this YouTube channel to bring you guys insight, predictions, and my opinions to basically the best of my power about all things NFL. But what I like to do in this channel is watch NFL free agency, and I mean like really watch it, and then basically do all the signings and like watch all the signings that happen in real life, and then put them in Madden 17. And then I'll go ahead and give you guys some gameplay of basically what's to come for next season. I had a lot of fun making these videos, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed just as much as I did. This is Bumblebee Talk Sports, and let's just go ahead and get into the topic of today. Today, we have the Bucs playing the Ravens, and we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they just signed one of the best free agent wide receivers in this offseason in Desean Jackson. Now, if some of you guys don't know, Desean Jackson had over 1,000 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns last year with the Washington Redskins, and it was actually his second 1,000-yard season with them. But because of that whole Kirk Cousins situation and them paying him a lot of money and franchise tagging him last year and then this year, and they don't really know what's happening with even their general manager. So the Washington Redskins really lost their top 2 wide receivers in Desean Jackson and Pierre Garçon. But I don't think Desean Jackson could be happier in reality because this could actually shape up to the best year of his career. I actually think this was the best landing spot for Desean Jackson because he has Jameis Winston throwing him the ball. And you can say a lot of things about Jameis Winston, but he does have a cannon for an arm. And with Desean Jackson complimenting Mike Evans on the other side, it should leave Desean Jackson with plenty of one-on-ones for Jameis Winston to just basically throw him up the ball. If you guys didn't know, Tampa Bay was actually one of the only 2 teams last season to not throw for a single touchdown that went over 50 yards, which is actually pretty crazy when you think about it. One of the reasons being that they didn't have that really speedy, skilled guy on the outside to really go make those plays downfield. But adding Desean Jackson could definitely change that come the 2017 season. Now, Winston is entering his 3rd season, and his past 2 seasons have actually been pretty good. And I've looked up the numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and read them off to you because they're actually kind of the same, and he a little bit improved his 2nd season, but that's of course to just come. Let me just go ahead and read you guys off the numbers, because in his rookie season in 2015, he threw for a 58% for over 4,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. And then in 2016, the year after his rookie season, so his 2nd year, he threw for 60%, over 4,000 yards again, with 28 touchdowns and 18 interceptions, with a QBR of 86. So basically all of his numbers improved, including the interceptions, but that's just bound to happen if you're just going to continue to play in the NFL. Winston also rushed for over 400 yards and 7 touchdowns in his 2-year career. And that's pretty solid because if you have a good offensive game plan and the right pieces around your guy, you can basically have a good team. And let me just remind you, that was really only with Mike Evans to throw the ball to. Because even though Tampa Bay had Desean Jackson, he was battling through some injuries and really was in the back half of his career anyway. But last season, Desean Jackson had an NFL best 17.3 yards per reception last season. So it should be really exciting to actually see what these guys can do in the air. Now, if you guys don't remember Mike Evans, let me go ahead and refresh your memory, because he played his college ball back in Texas A&M with, you guys know, Johnny Manziel. And from what I remember, all of the crazy things that Johnny Manziel was doing that year, like I remember in the Alabama game, like just the Alabama game, where this man Johnny Manziel threw the ball and then it got batted back to him and then he caught it just to throw a touchdown, and it was actually pretty crazy. It was all in like the same play. It was ridiculous. You guys should go look at it. But I also remember Mike Evans just bailing Johnny Manziel out a lot of times when Manziel would just kind of throw it up in the air for him to go get it. And I mean, that's okay because that's the kind of wide receiver that you get with Mike Evans because he's just kind of big and bulky and he just goes and high points the ball. But when I say that, I mean these guys basically have the potential this coming season to be one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. And I say that because, I mean, you have Odell Beckham, and the Giants just signed Brandon Marshall, so that could be pretty good. And then you have Martavis Bryant coming back from suspension to play with Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown is always going to put up beast numbers, so we'll see, that could be good too. And then you have Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders in Denver, and then you also have Mohamed Sanu and Taylor Gabriel, whoever two of those guys you want to pair with Julio Jones down there in Atlanta. And then there are also good ones in Green Bay, and then also New England, because they just got Brandon Cooks. And you guys can comment maybe any that I left out or anything like that. But the reason why these guys can be a great duo is because they're basically polar opposites. And one being the big go in the air and high point the ball receiver as a Mike Evans, and the other being I beat you right off the line and run by you in Desean Jackson. And it's kind of interesting, and it could give secondaries really something to think about when they go and play these guys. Jackson can also help in the special teams unit, returning punts and kicks. Because, as you guys remember, he can give that little extra flair and that extra excitement to the Bucs that, like, everybody wants. Not just, like, the head coaches and the players, but, like, it could give the extra element to, like, the fans, too, which is definitely what the Bucs need. Because everyone remembers that punt return at the end of the game when Desean Jackson, this was back when he played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and this was back, man, when people didn't even want to punt to him. But then the New York Giants punted to him at, like, the last play of, like, the game, and then, man, Desean Jackson just ran a touchdown, and, like, everybody was crying, and it was just so depressing, and, like, man, that was when Desean Jackson was really in his prime. And I can definitely see that type of Desean Jackson for Tampa Bay for sure. Tampa Bay also has Doug Martin, and even though he struggles with injuries from time to time, having him in the backfield can allow the Bucs to have a running game, which could open the play action, and you guys kind of know where I'm going from here. Doug Martin, when healthy, can be one of the most swifty and strongest running backs, but who knows if we'll ever really get a rookie Doug Martin again. Something to also think about is the Bucs also have kind of a weak division. With the Super Bowl runner-up in the Atlanta Falcons, they could just be another Carolina Panthers. Because as you guys know, the Carolina Panthers made it to the Super Bowl 50 and then lost and then didn't even make the playoffs the next season. And then you have the Saints, who can't really do anything without a defense, and then they also just traded away Brandon Cooks. So this could actually be kind of promising for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they actually play their cards right. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense was good last season, and with rookie cornerback Vernon Hargreaves having basically a really good rookie season, reminding me a lot of Marcus Peters, the cornerback that plays in Kansas City. If you guys didn't know, he's really good. Came out of Washington. He's going to do good things. But some say it was at times more luck than skill. And it's up to the defense to basically come out this season and put on the same performance it did last season, because if they do that, I think the only thing that could really stop this team from winning their division, or at least being a wildcard team next season, is themselves. Because on paper, these guys have all the materials to go and have a winning season. And then we also have the draft coming up in April, and this draft is loaded, so they can go out and get some defensive players. But we're wrapping up towards the end of this video, so please like, share, and subscribe. And you guys, if you guys want and you really liked it, you guys can go ahead and hit the bell next to my name, and you will get noticed every time I post a video. This is my first video, so I'm going to be posting regularly now. This is Bumblebee Talk Sports, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.